Yo, so we just passed some fellow backpackers on the trail.
They weren't backpackers, dude. They were dweebs. They had giant boots on that were brand new, and their clothes weren't even dirty.
Anyways, it got us talking. You know, a lot of people have no idea how the activities they're doing or the footwear they're doing those activities with, how that's affecting their feet and potentially making their feet more unhealthy. So, good thing we're here to help you understand what you are doing that are making your feet less strong, less flexible,
A whole lot less sexy, too.
Let's do it. There's three main mistakes we see people make when choosing how to use their feet. They're either seeking too much comfort, too much stability, or too much of those aesthetics, or as Chris likes to say, aesthetics. To get to the root of these mistakes, we need to understand one thing about the body, and that's that it's very adaptable. We intuitively know this. We know if we go to the gym and we work out, we get bigger muscles, or if you stretch, you get more flexible. But we never think about what we're doing to our feet and how they will adapt. If we make our feet too comfortable or are always giving it extra supports, then we're never asking our foot to actually work. So those muscles atrophy and you'll lose range of motion. And don't even get me started on high heels. All right, let's take a deeper look at each of these topics.
In today's society, we have this really weird obsession with our ankles and keeping them supported. We view them as incredibly fragile and we think they're always gonna break. But as we know, we are highly adaptable. So if we don't use our ankle, we're gonna lose that strength and stability and the flexibility that we need to make all this crazy range of motion. Unless you're a crazy mountaineering person who's summiting mountaintops over 15,000 feet, you don't need that crazy high ankle support and the big boots. So a test that you could run with yourself is go outside, walk around barefoot, and if you're worried about rolling your ankles, you don't need to have a shoe with a heel this big, because all that's doing is providing a bigger lever point for you to roll your ankle and sustain a way greater injury. And don't worry, we'll dive into the high heels shortly. But for now, let's move on to arch support.
Have you ever been told you need orthotics? Or been told by a doctor that you need arch support? Or maybe you just think it feels more comfortable to have extra arch support? Well, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Arch support is way overused and overprescribed. The vast majority of people do not need arch support in their daily life. Arch support should be used like a crutch. If you break your leg and you need to use crutches, you start with 2. Then you wean yourself down to 1 and eventually none. But the way we've decided we use arch support in our culture is that we start with the least aggressive and then our foot doesn't really have to work anymore. So it gets weaker and weaker. And then we need more aggressive arch support and then more until eventually you got no muscles left in your feet and you need the most aggressive arch support to just get through your day without your feet hurting. Well, that's BS. You should be working on the strength of your feet, the strength of your arch so that you don't need arch support. And maybe right now, with the state your feet are in, maybe you do need some, but that doesn't mean you should be wearing it all day long.
Let's talk about high heels though. High heels are literally the epitome of sacrificing your health for aesthetics. Let's think about what you're doing to your foot when you're in high heels. Not only are you elevating your foot, making it so that your ankle can't move, the toe box in a high heel is literally a pointy triangle. A healthy foot doesn't have a point to it. When you have a pointed toe box, that leads to bunions and overlapping toes, like when your pinky toe goes under your other toe and they start crisscrossing like this. That's not pretty. It's not just high heels that do that though. It's fancy dress shoes. It's steel toe work boots. So start making a conscious effort to take care of your feet. Stop looking for those sexy quads and those sexy calves and that nice booty.
If sitting is the new smoking, then wearing comfortable shoes are the new Twinkies. There's two components to comfort in footwear. One of them you may not even be aware of. The obvious one is really soft shoes. Big, soft, foamy heels. I like to call them flotation devices. When you wear a soft shoe, you lose your connection to the ground. Your feet sink in every single time you go to do anything, put any sort of force into the ground. And so you lose the feedback, you lose proprioception of what your foot does and how that interacts with the rest of your body. Let's take Olympic weightlifters, for example. They wear a very stiff shoe because they need to be hyper aware of how their foot is interacting with the ground. They need immediate feedback so that they don't tip over with a bunch of weight on their back. The second component of comfort that you may not be aware of is what we call the drop of a shoe. So you may have heard this before and may not have known what it meant. So if you ever hear that a shoe has a certain amount of drop, what that means is the difference between the heel and the toe box. And oftentimes we're looking at a pretty big difference. Obviously a high heel is very big. Even your run-of-the-mill running shoe, work boot, whatever shoes you're wearing probably has a good drop. And the reason this is comfortable is it demands less from your ankle. If your toes are, if your toes can sit lower than your if your toes can sit lower than your heels, then you never have to use this part of your range of motion of your foot, dorsiflexion, which is the most compromised for most people. So ditch your comfortable shoes. As this day ends, so does the video. Now you know what's preventing you from having healthy feet. If you haven't watched part 1 of this series yet, we probably linked it on the screen somewhere right now. Go back and watch it. That's what's gonna tell you what constitutes a healthy foot. What can a healthy foot do?
Next up in this series, part 3, is gonna be our recommendations from everything from footwear to exercises that you could do to get those feet healthy.
Yeah, what can you do right now to make your feet stronger, more flexible, sexy, all that good stuff.
Right, meow. Also, if that video is out, there'll be a link. If there's no links, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, all that crazy stuff that YouTubers tell you to do, which is really important for us because we're a new channel and we need you, and apparently you need us to have healthy feet and sexy feet. And
you can keep going if you want.
No,
I don't
want to keep them too long.
All right, fair. You know the deal. Who needs a gym?
I think I would rather be in a gym. Looking at myself in the mirror.
That's true. There's no mirrors out here.
If I'm working out, like how am I gonna see my, like I'm just gonna be looking at Shark Bite Mountain.
How you gonna peek your bicep? By the way, that's Shark Mountain.
Shark Bite Mountain.
Shark Bite Mountain. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Can you see it?
You might be able to see it.
Barely.
That's Shark Bite Mountain right there.
We camped right there, and I climbed up here this morning to catch an epic sunrise.
All right, dude, have fun.
Just in case I get eaten by a bear or mountain lion, keys are in my bag. First aid kit's on the tree.
All right, I'll patch you up.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go do some manly stuff. Go out fishing while Trevor plays poke butt with the tree over there. So I'll let you know how my expeditions go, and I'm pretty sure he'll let you know how his poke butt goes. So stay updated. See you soon. Enjoy your poke butt.
You know I will. I always do.
Told you guys I'd keep you updated. Got a nice, beautiful little brook trout out here while Trevor was playing poke butt with his tree. One fish. Let's see if we get more. Yo guys, I forgot to check in. I got 2 fish in my bag. 1 fish right here. I'm gonna let him go though. We already got enough to eat, so see you later, buddy. Oh guys, so I'm out here and I was fishing and I'm walking through like this thick shit because it's the only way to get to the creek. I'm gonna flip my camera around and show you the ugliest creature I've ever seen. Hold on. You see it kind of like moving that branch over there. Zoom in. I don't know what the fuck is that, dude? What the fuck? Oh shit, oh shit. It's like a really ugly Sasquatch. clutches have tools? Some kind of axe? Okay, I've tried to move a little closer. I'll show you. Hold on. I don't want to give my position away. But you see the red thing there? He just hung that up in the tree. Oh yeah, he's doing something real weird. Get pretty close, guys. I'm literally crawling on a trail. I don't think he sees me yet. I've gotten a lot closer. Oh. The beast is back in the tree. You can see him moving. I'm gonna hunt him. I'm so close, he has no idea. I've made it to its house. He doesn't know I'm here. Look at him. What's he doing to that tree? He's pretty jacked. I think I could take him though. I'm gonna have to ambush him when he comes back to his house. I'll keep you posted.
I knew that all time.
Beautiful little brook trout. You can tell this is a brook trout by the way it is. So he's dinner tonight. Fucking eating good tonight.
What's your method, Chris?
So what we're seeing here is there's a lot of movement here, which means there might be fish there, but probably not. There's not a lot of hiding spaces for them because they like to sit around rocks and then like pop out into the current to eat. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get my wet fly up to drift down, come into this area over here, which we call a feeding lane, and it's gonna look natural. Whereas if I just plop it in there, it might scare the fish and look not natural at all. So sometimes what happens is when you catch one fish, it can spook the other fish. These guys are on to us. So you could do one of two things. You can move or put a new fly on. Do you wanna try it?
Sure. How do you know which fly to put on?
Well, like I was telling you, high alpine fly fishing is new to me, but I have go-tos that kind of work everywhere. Because I don't know the bugs here, I'm gonna choose something that's more suggestive rather than imitating. This one's usually really good for tenkara specifically. It imitates some sort of worm or bloodworm. This guy right here. These guys are good. They just imitate water beetles, which I'm pretty sure are everywhere. This is a classic wet fly here. And then these guys are kind of funky, but they get a lot of attention. Like they're very loud.
Let's do the loud one.
We got Trev hash on the tenkara. He's gonna drift down this to a nice feeding lane. I feel like there's gonna be fish there. Zoomed in on him. Oh. That was a really nice one. Look at that stance though. Can we talk about that? Look at that pose. Trev, look at this behemoth.
Yo,
It's such a big fish, bro.
This is it, man.
It's at least a 7-footer
Yeah, exactly.
or 7-incher.
Depends on where you measure from, right?
Yeah.
Well, hello. Welcome to our home. What took you so long? Oh, did I forget to mention that our driveway is 7 miles long? My apology. Well, come on in. So, here's our... Oh, don't worry about your shoes. This ain't one of them hippie households. Here we have our living room. Chris, tell these fine people how much this living room costed.
Well, believe it or not, this little living room didn't cost a goddamn thing. Built everything myself.
I thought you said it costed $1 million. Moving on. Here we have our shower and bath. Here is my closet.
Show them the toilet behind that tree. You can still see one turd I laid.
Well, there you have it. Have a nice trip home, and we'll see you next time.
I think I felt a raindrop. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Alright guys and gals, we're gonna be trying to use an ember here to start our fire. Got a little bird's nest and our nest. So this is a perfect example on why you put out your fire with lots of water. Look how much of that was left.
A bit of thunder.
So we got some thunder, but we also got some fish.
Look at those.
Guys, little brook trout. We're just gonna kind of slow roast them.
This guy's a wild man.
Call this guy Roland 2.0.
Roland 2.0. What a legend.
Shout out Roland.
Shout out Roland if you watch YouTube.
Looks like we got a finished product here. Wow. That's a dead fish.
That's a dead fish.
We're gonna eat that.
Yeah, this one's yours.
Oh, that's mine.
Yeah.
Wow, thanks, dude. Whoa, look at these red dots. You see these?
Yeah. Part of their little pattern.
That's cool.
Alright, guys. Gals. Trevor's gonna try to figure out how to eat a fish off a stick.
I'm assuming most of the meat's in there. Just give the skin a little peel and... Oh, that's straight meat.
They say the skin is the most nutritious.
See, here's the thing is, you're like a prime example of the boy who cried wolf. I can never tell if you're serious. So I'm not sure if I should eat the skin or not right now. Dude, it's raining. Ooh, yeah.
Tasty?
Mm-hmm. Wow, this is really good.
Look at that. Wild Trev. Get lots of bones.
That one got low.
Wanna build me a log cabin on a mountain.